Let's see, now this photograph that we're showing here, these are people that are dumping illegally up at the East Park. And we don't know who they are, but what I'm proposing tonight is that I would like to see us raise the fee for illegal dumping from $500 to $2,000. And Penn Hills has just done that. And they require the people, once they capture them and prosecute, that they have to come back and clean and take away the dumping that they have done. So,
Mr. Wilson, that is something that I had sent on those pictures to Mr. Little and asked for some kind of resolve so that they could not get in there to do the dumping. I sent it to quite a few people to see if anyone recognized these people. I got no answers on
no,
that.
I understand that.
Yeah, and we saw, and Penn Hills had just raised their, like you say, which I think is a fantastic idea. And Mr. Little and I had discussed also doing that based on what you can see here.
Well, thank
Great
you.
idea. So that's in an ordinance, so we would have to
Yes.
pull that ordinance and rework it, so
Right.
Mr. Little,
Well,
we could.
yeah, Tim's going to look at, Tim thinks that, well, you tell him what you think.
Well, as a comment, as we do, I believe, and I'll defer to Paul on this, because this would be a fee coming out of code enforcement. We revise the fees every year when we pass the budget. Now, does council want to do this?
I think
soon?
they're outlined specifically within that ordinance.
Correct.
So you'd have to
Right.
redo the ordinance or not put a fee in the ordinance and put the fee in the fee schedule so you can adjust it without doing the ordinance.
So why don't you, may have Mr. Ratcher look at the ordinance and see how we need to do it, or the best way to do it?
Yeah, the best.
If we can do it with the fee schedule in the budget, then just do it.
That- I-
Because we
Yeah,
do it
that's-
annually.
Yes.
That's what I was going to suggest.
It did,
But if
let
it's
me-
already in the ordinance.
Let me just throw caution though at this. The only way you're going to be able to do any type of conviction is to make sure that you get a license plate.
Right.
Because that's how you have to identify a vehicle.
yeah.
You know, you take pictures from afar, which we can all see.
Right.
That still can't identify it. So until you actually get a picture of a
License
license plate,
plate.
you're
Well,
not going to get
this
anyone.
was taken by a citizen
Right.
that saw
But-
it happening.
I
But
mean, we're going to do a more permanent remedy to
Correct.
prevent this to happen.
Which is what else we discussed, was to put up some barriers.
Right.
So that they could not get into there. That was, we had already
Right.
discussed that as well.
Right, and we do have an employee that lives there.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Retired,
Yes.
it's a retired employee.
He's retired?
But there's a person there.
Park host.
Yes, there is a park host.
Okay,
There's a
but
park-
but
there's a
anyway,
park host there.
yeah, we need to be more vigilant with this issue.
I talked to him, and he said that at one time there was a list of people, and this is moot now, because as Paul and I have talked, and Mrs. Gatos, is that we are going to put a permanent barrier up there, so nobody could dump there. But
Right.
in the past, there was a list of people who could dump their clean fill, and one of them was the authority, another. But we're not going to have anybody dump there. Now, in conjunction with that, when he goes out, he does shopping, he's not at home all
Right,
the
right.
time. He comes back and
He's
somebody
not there
tells him somebody,
24/7.
Correct.
So, but it's
Which is
going to be
what's
moot
wrong.
because we're going to put a guardrail up there.
Yes.
Okay,
So,
Not that they can't
and what are we
put it over
doing
the
with
guardrail.
But
the,
we're at least trying.
with the gates for